Alright, against odds time, we are playing a Bant Dragons list built around Kiora, Master of Depths. We gotta ship this one. Oh my god. And this one. Well, we will keep this, even though it is not good. Put Planner Outburst to the bottom. Oh boy. We did not really want to start on a Mold of 5. Blood-Soaked Champion. So this might be an Aristocrats deck. I guess we'll lead on Windswept Heath. Ship the turn. Get hit for 2 by Blood-Soaked Champion. Yeah, this looks like blue-black Aristocrats, most likely. Hangerback X1. We'll crack Windswept Heath, get a Forest. Play Flooded Strand, pass the turn. Is our opponent going to attack with Hangerback? No, just blood. Yes, okay. So we're going to take 3 here. And probably search out a Plains, I guess. If I had known we were going to draw all those Wraths, I might have kept the land. Alright, Flooded Strand. We'll just get a Plains. We will Silk Wrap to get rid of Hangerback, I believe. A little risky if our opponent draws a sack outlet. They could deal some damage, but still, getting rid of the Hangerback's pretty good. Polluted Delta for our opponent. Gets a Sunken Hollow. Yep. Hits us for 3. We're down to 10. We are going to need some action soon if we're going to stay in this game. There's the Husk. Alright, Flooded Strand. Get a Prairie Stream. Kiora. Kiora's too slow. I guess we can Stasis Snare to kill the Husk. Our opponent will probably sack it in response. Yup. So we're down to 8 and taking at least 3. We pretty much just gotta hope our opponent has nothing. Seems unlikely since they were missing land drops. To be fair, this was a Mold of 5. Can't put too much stock in a Mold of 5. And it wasn't even a very good 5. But once you get to 5, you can't really... beggars can't be choosers, as they say. Alright, gonna drop to 5 here. Oh, another Husk. Well, we can see what we draw, but I think we're just dead. Planner Outburst might be an out. I think that's the only card that's an out here. Can't play Dramoka. Sidisi's Faithful. Alright, Planner Outburst or bust. Rattleclaw, alright. Well, we had some really bad mulliganing there. So, Aristocrats. Get rid of these negates, I think. Bring in a Stasis Snare. Bring in another Planner Outburst. And just run it like that. Alright, game 2. Let's get a better hand this time. We can't cast anything in this hand. Do we even keep this hand? I don't think we can. We just don't have any action. Alright, I guess that's sort of better. At least we have Rattleclaws, but still not an exciting hand by any means. We do not want the counter. Alright, tap land, pass turn. Opponent has what? Blood-Soaked Champion? Tap land. we draw the card that we just scryed to the bottom. Someday I'm going to run a test on that. I swear that there is something weird with Magic Online where when you scry to the bottom, you way more often than you should draw the same card you scried to the bottom. Like it happens, it seems like it happens a lot. And it could just be that I remember those situations more than I remember drawing a different card, but it feels like it happens way more than it should. So DC's faithful for our opponent. Are they going to bounce our Rattleclaw? Yep. Alright. Can't do much about it. Land? Alright, we do draw land. So we'll just face up the Rattleclaw again. Pass the turn. Could really use a Kiora. Would be excellent. Does our opponent have Liliana, maybe? Murderous Cut kills our Rattleclaw. Sure. Now another land's nice. Since we drew the land, I think we're going to face up this Rattleclaw. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Could have cast it face down, but we're probably just going to have to get another Prairie Stream, I guess. No matter how we cast it, we wouldn't have been able to leave up Slumgar's score in this turn, too. Husk. Alright, let's get another blue source. Prairie Stream, number 2. Another Slumgar Scorn. Well, now we're just going to Silk Wrap to get rid of the Husk. Our opponent sacks it. It doesn't make us kill our Rattleclaw. It can only target creatures our opponents control. So I think that's what they were hoping to do, is make us exile our own Rattleclaw. And that would work with like a Oblivion Ring, but the way Silk Wrap is formatted, it doesn't work. So our opponent gonna... Alright, they cast the DC's Faithful, do not sacrifice. Cast a Zulaport Cutthroat. Another Planner Outburst. Well, I guess we just pass the turn for now. Probably not going to get much value out of these Slumgar Scorns unless we draw a Dragon, which we have quite a few of. 6. Bloodsoak Champion. If our opponent goes Hellbent, we can always just Wrath too, which isn't that bad. Oh my gosh, the third Planner Outburst. Not really what we wanted to draw. I guess Liliana is the scariest card our opponent could draw. Although they don't have a way to flip it, so it's actually not that bad. Take our beats. Down to 17. Dragonlord Ojitai. Do we cast Ojitai here? We probably have to. What's the worst that can happen? Because we could sit down the Slumgar Scorn, but I think playing Ojitai is better. Our opponent shouldn't be able to deal with it, and if we untap, then we start drawing cards, and we have Slumgar Scorn active. So we can block, and our opponent gets it back. I don't think there's much risk to that, but I'm not going to do it. They could have some crazy weird card that could ruin that plan. Dig through time. Well, let's get in with Ojitai. Puts our opponent to 8. Ooh, Kiora or land? I think we need the land here. I think we're just going to win this game, most likely, with our Ojitai. Kiora is sweet, but it's not really necessary at the moment. Since we could have untapped our Ojitai, which would be good, but then we wouldn't have been able to leave up counter magic. Take another hit from Bloodsoak. Yeah, we're gonna have to probably counter whatever this might be. Hanger back X3. So we'll just cast this Slumgar Scorn. Sack Flooded Strand. And opponent scoops it up. Well, no Kiora, but Dragon Lord Ojitai was a big game. We're just gonna run it back, not change anything. Alright, game 3. See if we can actually not mulligan for one game. That would be sweet. Alright, I mean, that's somewhat reasonable. Bloodsoak Champion for our opponent. Lumbering Falls, ship the turn. Take 2 from Bloodsoaked. Nothing. Alright, we'll just play Windswept Teeth, and I think we pass for now. I think we want to save our Silk Wrap to hit a non-Bloodsoaked Champion creature, like a Husk or a Liliana, which could be coming down this turn. Alright, we take another 2. There's the Husk. So we'll search out a Plains. We will Silk Wrap to get rid of the Husk. Opponent sacks it, gets it to the graveyard. Flooded Strand, ship the turn. Next turn we can actually play our Kiora, although it'll probably just die. Take another hit from Bloodsoaked Champion. Down to 13, 12 once we crack this fetch. Another Husk, that's a little annoying. Flooded Strand, get an island, so our lands come to play untapped. Ooh, another Silk Wrap? So we can play Kiora, and then Kiora dies after doing nothing. I guess it's better just to play another Silk Wrap this turn. Get rid of another Husk. Opponent sacks it. Play Flooded Strand. I want to keep filling our graveyard with fetches for this dig through time. Kiora is also really good with dig because it can dump a bunch of cards in the graveyard. Feels like we're sort of close to stabilizing, but it really depends on what our opponent has. Going to be down to 9 at the end of this turn. Hanger back X2. Hanger back X2. Alright, crack this Flooded Strand. Get a Prairie Stream. Forest. Alright, let's play Kiora. And we will, I think we're just going to pump it up. See if we can get our opponent to attack it. Play Windswept Teeth. Pass the turn. We're kind of in a tenuous position here. If our opponent has the right combination of cards, we could just lose to like Sacrifice Outlet plus what's it called? The Blood Artist. Alright, they are trying to decide if they are attacking Kiora or attacking us, and they decide us. Interesting choice. So we're down to 5. Opponent has Despoiler of Souls. Alright, let's crack Windswept Teeth. Get another Prairie Stream. Silk Wrap. We can we can Silk Wrap, untap a land for Lumbering Falls. That might be what we have to do. Silk Wrap the Hanger back? Yeah, I think that's our best bet. Silk Wrap, get rid of the Hanger back, untap a land. Now this way we can activate Lumbering Falls as a blocker. And if our opponent doesn't have anything that deals damage, we survive another turn and then we can try to dig. Blue, green, white, and blue. Activate Lumbering Falls. And now I think we gotta block the Blood-Soaked Champion and go to 1. We can't really afford to block the Despoiler, I don't think. They get back Blood-Soaked Champion. Alright, now we actually have an out of digging into a Wrath. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4. What to do with Kiora? I think we gotta tick down Kiora to fill our graveyard. Get a... Ooh, we're gonna lose a Planner Outburst. Take the Rattleclaw and the Canopy Vista. We can play this island. Dig for 2 mana. We're basically looking for Planner Outburst here, I think is our out. I'm not sure this will work. I guess what we have to do is take Dragonlord Dramoka for the future and Icefall Regent for now. Problem is, if they have a removal spell, we just lose. Could not find the Wrath. So basically, we got to play Icefall Regent, tap down Despoiler of Souls, hope our opponent doesn't have a removal spell, and then we survive another turn. But Murderous Cause gets us, as does a Blood Artist effect, since we're at 1 life. Opponent plays a land. Are we really going to survive this turn? We do. Wow. And a Stasis Snare. Now, do we want to tick down our Kiora? How do we do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They didn't have removal last turn. We can... I guess we play Dragonlord Dramoka? And if we live 1 more turn, then we're all of a sudden in great shape? Because we're going to gain back a bunch of life? So, Dragonlord Dramoka comes down. Play this Canopy Vista. We're going to attack with Icefall Regent. And then we're going to use Kiora to untap... I can do this, right? Yeah, untap Icefall Regent and a Plains. So we also get to leave up the Stasis Snare. Ooh, we might be pulling this out at 1 life. And Stasis Snare actually stops the Blood Artist kill too. Whoa, they're gonna pass? Well, that should be game over. We get to attack with both dragons. Our opponent can't play spells, so we know we're gonna gain a bunch of life. Put our opponent to 7, we go back up to 6, play a land, play face down Rattleclaw, untap Dragonlord Dramoka and Plains. You can't cast a spell, bud. That is a... Opponents can't cast spells during your turn. So I think our opponent might have forgotten that that's one of the things Dragonlord Dramoka does. Doesn't see that much play, but it's really powerful because of that Hoser ability and lifelink. Now we're back from the edge, and I think we're just going to win this game. And Kiora was a big part of it, in all honesty. Producing mana by untapping things and untapping our Dragon Lords is a pretty big deal. And we didn't even have an Ojutai, which is the most obvious synergy. Completely disregard. Yep, exiles our Rattleclaw. And opponent scoops it up. Sweet. Got there.